Hi, welcome to Sister YouTube channel. So I'm going to draw some desserts. This is part 3 of different choices that you can use. So I'm using gray. You can use gray or the peachy color, but since this is pink, I decided to use gray. And I'm making my lines go in. That's called tapering. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I kind of made an oval behind it, like a C and a U, and connected it. And then they could be boxes too. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to put 3 boxes behind it so they're overlapping. And these are going to be some cupcakes. Or they could be muffins or a soft ice cream, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to turn these lines like that for the base, flaring it out. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to drop 2 lines down and then connect. So again, you can do whatever you want with that. So lightly draw a triangle, turn, and a diagonal, turn, diagonal, and then round this off and then connect with a turned line, and that can make it look like a soft serve type ice cream. So draw a mound and then a circle, turn your lines here, and then you can keep turning them as they all connect and round that off. So repeat, turn, and yeah, this is a little mini version of that, and then a cherry on top. So I'm going to break off a small piece of yellow ochre and I'm going to fill in the boxes. Yellow ochre kind of looks like Dijon mustard. If you don't have that, you can use orange. And then I'm going to take some white and I'm going to rub white on top of it, really pressing down hard and blending it. And then after that, I'm going to just put some white for the frosting. You can choose whatever colors you want, but I'm just going to show you my process. I'm just going to pick a little piece up right there. First, I'm going to outline with a dark brown very carefully, and then after I finish outlining it with the brown, I'm going to take what's called burnt sienna and I'm going to fill that in. It's kind of a reddish brown if you have that. If you don't have that, you can just use the brown. And I'm going to redraw it again because I just want to get it to be a little bit more shadow-like. And then I'm using a peachy color for the highlight. And I'm rounding off my lines and doing a little dot on the top. I chose to do green in the background. You can choose whatever color you wanted, but I wanted some contrast so that it would look a little different from the front and the back. They wouldn't kind of blend in together. And then I'm going to take a light green and I'm going to blend it on top so that they have a kind of a more smoothed out look to it. But if you want just all dark, you can make it all dark. So this is burnt sienna, the reddish brown. I'm outlining it and I'm going to just fill this in. And then what I'm going to do is take what's called yellow ochre, which I've talked about. It looks like Dijon mustard, and I'm filling that in and I'm blending. So the next thing I want to do is go back in with the dark brown, just trying to get some different looks of chocolate. I kind of shaded it too. So this is burnt sienna and I'm filling in the blob with that. And then I'm going to take the peachy color and color over it. Okay, so with the peachy color, I'm kind of reshaping everything. And then I fixed it. This is just pure white. It's blending in with the gray. That doesn't seem to bother me. And I'm using some yellow in the back, again for some contrast, just because I could. Again, you can choose whatever color you want. And then use some red for the cherry on top. So it needs to be blended a little bit more, and what I recommend you have is what is called a blending stump, and you just go over pretty much everything and it can help you move the oil pastels around and really make it look super cool. So these are some lines, they're straight in the center and then they turn on the right and the left just a little tiny bit to give it a sense of form. And I'm using now blue. Before I was using burnt sienna. And then after that, what I want to do is take the color and put it down on the base so it can give it a shadow edge. And then again, I'm going to go back in with the blending stump and smooth things out. If you don't have a blending stump, I guess you could use a Q-tip. The problem with the Q-tip, it just doesn't have the strength. It's rolled paper, it's very, very strong, and it can really handle the pressure that you're using as you're moving the oil pastels around. Now if you're putting too much pressure, you will damage the blending stump, and you'll notice that sometimes I take the extra flakes off the blending stump with my other hand as I go because it kind of builds up the oil pastel. Sometimes you're almost carving into it and lifting up the oil pastel, which is fine. You're just smoothing things out the way you want it to, so you'll see that with what I'm doing. A little green got in there, but I don't seem to mind that. And I'm going to go ahead and blend. If your blending stump gets dirty, you can just take another piece of paper and just use it on it and get rid of some of the color. So this is part 3 of desserts and choices for what you can do using oil pastels, blending and getting some contrast and having some fun. So thank you so much for tuning in, liking, subscribing to my YouTube channel. Keep on watching as I choose different things. Oh yes, and you can scrape it off with your fingernail if you want to, or something else. So I'm going to go ahead and outline and then color this in. Take care.